Welcome to Are You Real? Finding the Authentic You, the podcast that focuses on Christians that are active in everyday life. Join in as we speak to everyone from successful business owners to educators to athletes about their faith and how it helps them reach out and revolutionize those around them to do the same. And now, get ready to roar with your host, the voice of manifestation, John Fuller.
Hey Roar Nation, John Fuller here coming at you live from Amarillo, and we are really excited. I'm always excited because I love interviewing people and I love to talk. Unfortunately, when cell phones came out, I spent a lot of time talking because I'm always driving, checking my job. So anyways, that's enough about me, whatever. So that being said, I am excited because as we told you, over the next couple weeks, we are bringing on a whole new platform of hosts that will be doing individual shows. And I've brought people to you as an audience that I feel like just operate at high levels. Last week, we did Jody Holland. We're going to be doing my wife coming up here really soon. But I'm really excited about this because this speaks to my heart. This is my soul. I get excited about business. And that being said, one of the most enthusiastic, go-getting, money-producing, loves Jesus, loves people, is the famous, and I've interviewed him before, Michael McIntyre.
What's up? How you doing, bro?
Good, man. Super good. So
That's good. That's good. Thanks for that beautiful introduction, man. You read it exactly how I wrote it.
Dude, it's really impressive, right?
Hey, that's right.
And it wasn't even written on paper. It was written on your heart, and it just came through, and it came out of my mouth.
I love it. Come on.
Okay, so Michael, I want to go. I know a lot of our audience, people that have followed us before, they do know you because you've been on 3 or 4 times. But just real quick, give me just a real snippet of you in the business world for those who may be just jumping on for the first time.
Yeah, sure. I went in the Air Force right out of high school, joined the Air Force, got a college degree while I was in there, and got discharged and got right into the insurance business. I was a natural salesperson and blessed with the natural sales ability and figured that out. And then I started my own insurance agency and led into a company. And over the next 27 years, developed a marketing strategy and a sales strategy and a training strategy and recruited and trained over 20,000 agents. And we had 40 offices across the United States. And we had total sales of about $3,154 million in insurance sales over that period of time, created almost 200 millionaires and did real well in that. And wrote a book, finally surrendered my life to Jesus 10 years ago. I'm a 10-year-old Christian. Woohoo! And
yeah, so, baby.
That's right. Started another company, a telemedicine company, and some other lead generation companies, and then started the Next Level training course through on our website at michaelpmcintyre.com and started taking that out to churches and other Christian streams and teamed up with some good guys like Sean Bowles and Lance Wallnow and Danny Silk and Sean Foyt and some other crazy cats out there in our stream, and you, John Fuller, and man, it's just been a great ride. It's been fun. So I've been coaching a lot of entrepreneurs, helping a lot of Christian entrepreneurs, bringing some of the secular secrets into the non-secular world and showing them how to use that to their advantage to glorify the kingdom.
Dude, I love it. You know, you said a lot of things right there. I was thinking, first of all, you just put me in the same sentence with Lance Wallnow and Sean Bowles. So I feel honored just being in the same sentence. And by the way, Danny Silk is supposed to be coming on in January, just FYI.
Yeah, Danny's my man. I love Danny. He's a sweetheart guy. He's a smart guy. And, yeah, that's awesome. Well, you deserve to be in that sentence, man. You're right there at Mount Rushmore with all of them. Come on.
Thanks, man. I can't wait till they chisel out my face. Okay, so
good.
That being said, Michael, what I want to talk about, you obviously have a lot of years of experience, business. If we were going to say if there's a quote unquote, you made it, I would say you've made it for most. I think even as an entrepreneur, I know when you kind of even set a goal and you get there, there's still like, well, I haven't made it yet. I got to do more. But really in the business world, I'd say you have, and I'm excited about that because a lot of people need help, both in business and in their spiritual life. So Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about what your show is going to be about and what you plan on bringing to the table?
Thank you. That's great. Yeah, what I really learned, John, was when I was hanging out with Lance Wallnau and went out to Morningstar, did some of those mountain things he's got going on, and was hanging out with his group, and we were doing some business mountain work, and I got to speak probably for the first time to a non-secular audience, to a real Christian charismatic stream, and it was really interesting because everything that I was telling them, was things that I've learned over the years. And some of these people were seasoned business vets. I mean, been in business 25, 30 years. And it was the first time they heard some of these ideas and some of these techniques. And I knew right then, God kind of downloaded me right then and kind of hit me with the Holy Spirit and said, man, this is your stream, son. And I really got excited about that. So and I remember calling my brother up and said, man, I've got 27 years of material that nobody's heard. This is really good. I said, this is going to be a lot of fun. And it really has. And I get so excited about it because it's, a lot of it is from my category, from where I run in the last 27 years in the secular world, it's ABCs. It's always be closing. It's always it's business. It's strategic things. And there's so many things. I get excited to bring it in to the Christian community, to let them know how to do some things, do them with integrity, do them with character, and to find out, because there's some myths out there, I think, that's created in the Christian community about certain things in business which simply aren't true. And it might have been somebody said something, that didn't really understand business, didn't understand marketing, maybe didn't understand sales, maybe didn't understand finance or how to use money in a fulcrum aspect. And so I want to bring those common sense, basic ABC things and bring them into this Christian community in the stream and really help people, take advantage of that and glorify God in making that money and giving him glory that he deserves, and also benefiting their family, benefiting their community. Churches need money. There's a lot of Christians out there. It's like Lance Wallnau taught me. He said, McIntyre, listen, there's nothing more sadder than a broke philanthropist, right? And so, and I love that line because it's so true. Our Christian friends and brothers and sisters are such givers, man. They want to. I've seen people, have down to the last $60 and just drain their account and give it to people. I love that. But how would it be? It would be nice if they had $60,000 in their account and they can give $30,000 to somebody. So yeah, that's what I want to do, and how to overcome these obstacles. And I think sometimes in our communities that people look at certain things as like a bridge too far, and I want them to know that it's not that far and it's not that hard. It really isn't. But I also want to give them practical things that they can use, like, immediately. I do not like to hear people talk about theories and huge, long, give me a business plan and all that. I want to talk about stuff that they can take after they listen to these podcasts, after they listen to my show, and go out and use it that afternoon and turn that into cash, train riding dollars. Yeah,
dude, you're talking my language, man. We don't need no theory. We need rubber hits the road, baby.
That's right. That's it.
Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, man, dude, you're just full of energy, man. I love it. Okay.
I'm excited, baby. It's good.
Yeah. All right. So, Are You Real is going to be launching. We're doing fitness. We're doing success. We're doing linked creatives. We got a lot of stuff coming. What are you most excited about? And I know that's almost a recap of the question I just asked you, but what specifically comes to your mind when you think about the platform Are You Real and what we're going to be doing?
Well, I think it's unique. I think what you created here, John, you and Casey have created a very unique platform to people all across the world that can plug in like-minded Christians, and they can cover all quadrants of their life, and I get turned on by business because I can, I'm good at it, and I'm good at generating revenue and overcoming obstacles. And so I'm really excited about letting people put on armor that they're comfortable with. There's so often that you go to these business things and people, it's kind of like David, putting on Saul's armor. He walked around and he said, "This isn't for me." He took that off, and because sometimes those what goes on maybe in a certain course or something that doesn't fit for them. So what I like to do is say, "Hey, let's look at something that might fit for you." And what I'm saying about that is, if you have a business that's generating, $400,000 in revenue a year, that there might be a solution for you. But if you're generating $5 million a year in revenue, might need a different solution. So I want to have a custom program to where people can fit, and they can take like a cafeteria plan. They can pick and choose what they want to use depending on their circumstances. So I think what you guys have created here is a unique quadrant to cover all four corners of the earth and everything that needs to be handled in that sense, and to be real about it. That's what really is exciting for me, is the authenticity of it, the transparency of it, and the rocks are hard, the water's wet of it.
Yeah. Part of the thing that excites me too is things now being 19 years in business that you learn is, man, you can strive and work really hard to have this amazing business. But Michael, I'm sure you've seen this so many times. How many quote unquote successful businessmen have you met that have failing families or they're divorced?
Yeah, tons.
And that's not success.
Yeah. No, it's not. You remember the movie Jerry Maguire?
Yes.
And he talked about the Quan, having it all, Jerry. I got to have it all, Jerry. And which was hilarious, and I loved it. It was a little bit new agey, but I got what he was trying to say. You need to have your spiritual handled. You need to have your relational handled. You need to have your finances handled. You need to have your community handled. You need to have your children relationship. You need to have all those things handled at once. All together. And if you're not, then if one thing's out of kilter, then you're out of balance, and it's just like, Jesus said to the rich young ruler, said, sell all your assets and follow me. And he couldn't do it. It's because his heart was not, that he wasn't grounded spiritually. He wasn't walking that way. He was still too idolizing his money.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So I want to ask you specifically for the listeners for Roar Nation, because you're going to be bringing your people, my people, we're all mixing together. We're going to be this gigantic family by the time we're done, because there's going to be so many people jumping on. What do you want the listeners to gain specifically? And again, it's a little bit of a recap of a question, but give me a specific of your show. Like, what's going to be some of the takeaways, some of the things they're going to learn throughout this next year?
Yeah, it's a really good question. There's a big thing on debt right now out there. A lot of people got debt. I was up in Amarillo, and they asked me a question about debt, and I took some flack on it, But let me tell you this, there's all kinds of different debt out there, and I know as Christians, the Bible doesn't want us to go into debt, and because otherwise we're a slave to that debt. And I think it's really important as an entrepreneur, in knowing when to borrow money and when not to borrow money, not knowing what is a practical way to take on debt, and when is it a fulcrum and when is it just going to be a burden and you're betting on a come, right? I want to dive into that. There's certain kinds of debt. Somebody said, well, what about a mortgage? Well, I think mortgage is, it's an appreciating asset, or it should be anyway, unless you bought it, on top of a cemetery or something. So,
Pet cemetery.
But I do think I want them to talk about that, and especially in our community, and that's a big thing. And the other thing is who do you borrow money from? So let's say you got this idea, you got a great idea, you want to start a business, or you've got $300,000 in revenue coming in, but you're always just 1 month of revenue of making it. If you just have one extra month of revenue, you could do that. How do you do that? Should I go factor that in, or should I not factor that in? Should I go get a company that's going to do factoring on there and maybe take a 10% loss on that? But that might get me over the hump to where I can get in and invest in myself or machinery or personnel. When do you hire somebody and when do you fire somebody? And how do you hire them? How do you fire them? These are really practical things. Should I hire my brother, or should I go in business with my dad?
Yeah.
I want to get down to the nitty gritty on some of these things. And, what about, what's a marketing plan? What does that look like? And should we advertise on the radio, television, internet? Should we do SEO? Should we, run Facebook ads? Should we do YouTube? Should we, take an ad on an Elijah list, which I'm fixing to do? So there's all kinds of different aspects. And what do you gamble on and what do you don't gamble on? Do you pull out 401k money or or not? So I want to talk about the real practical things out there that people face. Also, I know there's going to be some people listening who have very successful businesses, and they might be they could be working in a company that's on the New York Stock Exchange. I got one of my good friends, he's a CEO of Westwood Holdings, and, so he manages like $6 billion, and he's in Dallas. And the same thing that he deals with, he's the CEO of this company, he deals with, I've dealt with, but it's just on a different scale, and I want to bring some of that into it as well.
That's fun, man. We're going to hit it at all levels. Okay, so we're about to go into the new year. We got a couple weeks left of December, and I want to ask you, what do you think is going to be your biggest challenge to overcome going into this new year?
Probably my biggest challenge is saying no.
Yeah, that ain't no joke. Just don't say no to me, Michael.
I know. I just my wife, she just the other day, she says, you can say no. She goes, you coach people on that all the time. I said, hey, baby, I said, it's like a bricklayer's house is never finished. I know. I never say no. And, and look, I do say no to I get Shark Tanked a lot, and, I say no to all them. I'm not really into that, but pretty active investor. I'm not a passive investor. But, I guess going into 2018 is, the stock market's going crazy, man. It's at, it's at nosebleed deals. Or is it just starting? I don't know. I got people all the time calling me with these stock deals. I should have bought this, should have bought that. I see that where a lot of guys want to get into day trading. I see how that's very attractive with this volatile numbers, man. But I do think what goes up comes down. So what's going to happen in 2018? I don't know. Is Kim Jong-il going to finally lose his mind and launch a nuke, and we're going to have to take the North Koreans off the map and unify the peninsula? What's going to happen then? The market's going to probably take a 20% hit, but is that a great time to buy? I don't know. But so there's a lot of things. I think the biggest challenge we've got going into 2018 as far as business, though, is probably what's going to happen with the geopolitical circumstance. Yesterday, President Truman.
Truman, brother, we go way back in time.
We go way back in time. We got a quantum leap.
We just leaped backwards.
President Trump, I got the TR right. President Trump, TRU right, just, announced that, which has been around for a long time, that, that Jerusalem's the capital of Israel. Well, that's a newsflash, but we all known that. And so what's going to happen out there? I don't know, but we're supposed to be moving the embassy there. Thank you, Jesus, which I agree with 100%, but everybody else there is losing their mind. So who knows? I think in 2018, I think the biggest challenge is going to be what's going to go on in the political spectrum across this world, and how's God going to be moving out there, and it's going to affect business. It's going to affect everything from Wall Street to Main Street, positively and possibly negatively. And I think we should get ready for that. I think we should be praying up for that. And do we buy gold? Do we buy silver? It always kills me on these ads on TV. I see them all the time because I watch Fox all the time, and they kill, they're William Defane's selling these, gold nuggets and all this stuff. If they think silver is really going to go to 2,000 or 200, why are they selling it, John? I don't get that. If silver is really going to go that high, I wouldn't be advertising anywhere. I'd be stockpiling it.
I was thinking the same thing, brother. Dude, you know what I love about you, Michael? You get so excited. I asked you what your biggest challenge was, and we turned it into a world challenge. We just got all over the map, my friend.
Hey, baby, we worship a big God, man.
Dude, we are forget nationwide. We are worldwide. Hey, literally, actually, I don't know if you know this, but I found out, it's been a while back, but we're like in 142 or 143 countries.
Come on.
That's pretty dang cool. Like people in
man.
There's literally countries that I've never even heard of that I probably can't even pronounce. I'm not going to try. So for those of you that are out there that are in some crazy places, please send me an email. I would love to read it and just find out where you're from. But it has to be in English because I'm not bilingual by any means. So no English, no response. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm sorry to go way off. I think the biggest challenge we're going to have is geopolitical. That's what I think.
Okay. Also, Michael, do you have New Year's resolutions?
No, don't believe in them.
You don't believe in them. Okay, so let's flop that over. Good question. Do you have goals?
Yeah, I've got a lot. Yeah, I've got goals.
Give me one. I want one. Just one big goal that you're excited about.
Oh, my gosh. One of the goals is we want to turn our next level training into a Netflix television show.
That would be super fun, dude, to follow somebody around or a group of people and what they've done and how they've. I love it. Great idea.
Yeah. Stacy came up with that idea. And so she's talking to some people, and we're going to, get like 20, people who are, not afraid to put it all out there on national TV. So we don't know what's going to happen. But
well, hey,
that's
dude,
one of our big.
If you want to take me through next level training and you want to follow me around with a camera, dude, bring it on.
All right, baby. I'll put you on the list.
I will definitely do it. Now, I don't think my wife will.
Why? She's the best looking one in the whole group.
She's way better looking, dude. Now that is 100% truth. The problem is I have a big mouth, and sometimes I embarrass her. And I know you should see the looks. We were at a basketball game the other night, and I was yelling at the refs because they were hellacious calls, I promise. And she was grabbing my elbow and giving me like this big-eyed stare. She's like, "Shut up. Like, you're going to get us thrown out." And I'm thinking, baby, they ain't going to throw you out. You hadn't said nothing. But if I get thrown out, then I got something to talk about.
That's right. I understand. I resemble all those remarks.
Yes. So it's foot and mouth syndrome, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael, last question before I let you off the chain. But I want to ask you, is there an interesting fact, hobby, or quick story that I don't know that our audience hasn't heard yet that you would like to share with us?
Oh, man. Why do you ask me these hard questions? Jesus, give me power. Okay, so, I guess one of the things that a lot of people don't know is that I would love, don't laugh at me and don't judge me, but I would love to do stand-up comedy.
That'd be fun.
That's something that I don't tell a lot of people.
You know what?
Now the whole world knows.
That's awesome. I've actually thought that. I would love to do comedy, but I'd have to have somebody like, I never realized this, but like a lot of those guys sit down and obviously it's scripted, but they have people that help them with scripts, just like you would a really good speech or a talk.
That's right. And I would like, there's of course, I would like to do Christian comedy if that's possible, but I don't know. I think the church needs to laugh at itself more often.
Oh, yeah.
And I think sometimes we as a church take ourselves a little bit too seriously. And I think God's blessed us with a sense of humor, and I think we should use it sometimes.
So I'm going to turn you on. Here's a quick plug for this guy. I hope someday I get him on my show. His name's Michael Jr., and I think he is out of Gateway Church there in Dallas, but he has come and spoken at Trinity before. He is off the charts hilarious. He's worked with...
Is he?
Oh my gosh, look him up. His name's Michael Jr., but he is literally... He's worked with some of the biggest names in comedy. Like he's been on night shows and all kinds of stuff. The guy is off the charts hilarious, but the guy never cusses. All his jokes are really clean, and he comes at it from a whole different perspective, and he's hilarious. So I've heard him twice. Awesome. YouTube him, you'll love him. And then maybe he'll hear this and he'll come on the show for us. Yeah,
what's really funny is, I'm Scottish, and there's a comedian out there, the same exact spelling, named Michael McIntyre, and he's Scottish, and he's hilarious, and he's clean. And so, anyways, it's kind of funny because he's blowing up over there in Europe. And so, every now and then, I hear people say, "Hey, are you a comic?" And I think that must be prophetic, but no.
Just speaking into the future, baby.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I'll check out Michael Jr. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's great.
All right, so as we wrap the show up, Michael, the podium is yours, my friend, so you can share whatever you would like with the audience.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. Thanks again, John, for giving me this platform. And you and Casey are so very generous and with your time and with your resources. And just to create this is an honor for me to be on it. And we're excited about Are You Real Business. And we're excited about launching this thing out in January. And we don't want to be the typical show. We want to be something that's different, something that might make you laugh a little bit. I can use some of my routines. And also, though, that can also help your bank account out the next day. And whether you're in sales, whether you're going to be starting a new business, whether you want to be an entrepreneur or whether you just want to, figure out how to make have a side hustle and make some extra money, nothing wrong with that. I know there's a lot of people out there doing Uber and Lyft, and they're doing other things, and they've got Arbonne, or they're doing some multi-level marketing. And I know a lot of people, I've really never done, I've done a little bit in the MLM arena and some pros and cons on it in both ways. But I know there's some people out there making a great living at it as well. So I wanted to cover those bases, and also just how to start a business, how to do that, and do it with a Christian mindset, and also how to bring Christianity in the marketplace. One of the big things that I got to speak with Lance, it was about marketplace, being a Christian leader in a marketplace, and how that's going to look, and do you have the guts to do that? And I think that's a big thing. A lot of people, tout their Christianity on Sunday, but then on Monday through Thursday or Friday, they're just, yucking it up with the rest of the group, and they're not following the same thing they did on Sunday. Not to judge that, but what I like to do. Our family motto is dare to be different. So, I've been in boardrooms and I've been in big meetings and touted my faith and got some snickers and jeers. But you know what? The only one I care about is Jesus, and that's. Not that I'm going to walk into the boardroom and hit everybody over the head with the King James Bible, but I just want to let them know that, hey, I believe that Jesus is Lord, and that I'm going to conduct my business in a transparent, authentic way. And if that offends you, then let's not do business. And so I've said those words, and it's cost me business. It's also made me a lot of money as well. And I didn't do it for either reason, but just to tout my faith and let them know who I am, because I think it's real important that people know who you are and where you stand. And I think it's important that, what are you pretending not to know? And sometimes people, we look at money as a situation that you can overlook your Christianity in because the means justify the ends. And I just think that's not cool. So anyways, we're going to get into all that kind of stuff, and some of it's controversial, and I like controversial. I like
you
it.
And me both.
I like Donald Trump. My wife kind of, she likes that he's a Republican. She likes that he's pro-business, but she doesn't necessarily like him. And I understand that, but I do. And I think, what he did yesterday on the national stage and recognizing Jerusalem, that took some guts, man, and it's courageous, and I like that. And I think it's bold. And I'm a bold businessman, and I'm bold in Jesus Christ, and I don't apologize for it. And so, we've got these trainings. We've got e-courses coming out, and you can go to my website at michaelpmcintyre.com and check it all out. We're going to launch. Sean Bowles gave us a really nice endorsement. Thank you, Sean. And we're going to launch this e-course out here in December 10th, I think it is. And so, anyways, we're excited, man. I'm excited to be part of Are You Real Nation, and let's hear them roar, baby. I like to roar.
Yeah.
Let's make money, baby. Let's make money, honey. And that's it, show me the money. And so it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that's all I got, Brother John.
Hey, I'm laughing. Just so you know, we're going to do an episode, I think, in January. And this was Jody's idea because we were you said controversial stuff. So what we thought about doing is having me, you, Jody, Casey, Christy, and Matt Dietz, because he's doing creatives. All of us are all going to get together on one show. We'll have to Skype some people in, and we're going to do nothing but controversial issues. Because I think it'll be fun because we all have different perspectives, viewpoints, and opinions, and not everybody's going to agree, in which the fun part is I want people to see, like, hey, we can all love Jesus, be the same body, have different opinions, and still be a family and not hate each other just because we see stuff from a totally different perspective.
That's right. That's awesome. That's great.
And the reason I said that is because I get emails sometimes, people like, well, I can't believe you said that, or you shouldn't have said that, or something like that. And I'm like, man, really? Is your underwear just that stuck that you're that worried about if I said something? Like, just go love somebody today and don't worry about my stupid mouth.
Yeah, no, amen to that. Yeah, Jesus really wore out the Pharisees, man, and there's reasons why, And my theology, my theological background is minimal, but I know that, I read the Bible, and I trust the people that I submit under the authority of my pastor. And, sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but I know this, that Jesus is Lord of Lords, King of Kings, in the name above all names, brother. And I think that's what it all boils down to.
Amen. All right, Michael, hold on real quick. Roar Nation, thank you guys. I hope you are excited as we are for our launch in January. And I want to tell you guys, for some of you, I know you've been sending me emails. I did really good for about the first 13 months keeping up with emails, and I have failed lately. I'm going to hand off some of those to my wife. Still need to respond to some of you, but I can tell you this. I now have a team. If you have questions or comments, you have love mail, hate mail, or questions, whatever, I don't care. please go to our Facebook page and post, ask a question, do it on there so my team or myself can respond. It's a lot easier. I'd love to get in touch with you. I want to hear just your heart, what's going on, how our team can help, and all of us. So, because we love you guys, and this is about building a unified body to go change the world, to get your gifts and talents out there, to go do something freaking awesome. So, that being said, man, we love you guys. Remember, be real, be authentic, and be you. God bless.
That's all for this episode of Are You Real? Finding the Authentic You. Be sure to go to areyoureal.org for your free questionnaire to identify your gifts and talents and how you can use them to help people become leaders and catapult them into their destiny to help others become the leaders of tomorrow. We appreciate you spending your time with us and look forward to helping you reach out and revolutionize next time on Are You Real? Finding the Authentic You.